afternoon, students. In today's class, I will be explaining you about the hierarchical channel structure of LTE. So, coming to the channel structure, so we see that LTE uses a hierarchical channel structure in order to provide support to various quality of service classes of services. There are three different channel types that is defined in LTE. So this is a very important question which is it will be asked in the examination. That is about the different channel types that is used in the LTE. So there are three different channel types: logical channels, transport channels, physical channels. So logical channels will tell you what type of information has to be transmitted. Transport channels will tell where the information has to be transmitted, and the physical channel will tell you how the information has to be transmitted. So we will see about each of these channels one by one later. So each channel type is associated with a service access point called as SAP between the different layers. And these channels are used by the lower layers of the protocol stack to provide service to the higher layer. And the radio interface protocol architecture and the SAPs between the different layers is shown in the next figure here. So you can see here, these are the actual different protocol structure, or in the last class I had shown you the structure. So this is the control plane and this is the user plane and this is the radio interface protocol stack. So we had four layers here. So between each of these layers we have something called as the channels. So the channels are being utilized by the lower layers in order to provide service to the higher layers. So we'll see each one of them one by one. So coming to the logical channels, so I showed you earlier like PDCP, RLC, MAC layer and the physical layers. So about the different layers what we actually studied in the last class. So in each of the layers, the different functions also are mentioned here. In the PDCP layer, there is the header compression and ciphering will take place. RLC layer, radio link control layer, segmentation, concatenation, in sequence delivery will take place. MAC layer, you can see multiplexing will happen, and the MAC scheduling, and also along with that, the MAC scheduling, transport format selection, and HARQ retransmission, everything will happen here. So all these things were discussed in the last class. So now we'll see like what is the function of the logical channels, the transport channels, and the physical channels. You can see here the logical channel is present between the radio link control and the MAC layer. So let's move on to the next PPT to see like what is the function of each one of the layers. So as I said you, the logical channel. So the logical channel will provide service at the service access point between the MAC and the RLC layer. So you can see this diagram here. The logical channel is present between the radio link control channel, control layer and the MAC layer. So what the logical channel will do is the logical channel is being utilized by the MAC layer in order to provide service to the RLC layer. So that is what is being mentioned in this slide. If students are entering one by one like this, it will be very difficult for me to continue with the class. So going on to the transport channels, the transport channels will provide service at the service access point between the MAC and the physical layer. So you can see here the transport channel is present between the MAC and the physical layer, and the transport channels are being utilized by the physical layer in order to provide service to the MAC here higher layers. Coming to the last one, that is the physical channel. So physical channel is not shown here. Why is it not shown is the physical channels, they are the actual implementation implementation of the transport channels over the radio interface. So that is the reason it is not being shown here. So the physical channels are the actual implementation of the transport channels over the radio interface. So what all you are supposed to remember here is you have to know that logical channels are present between RLC and MAC, and the logical channels are being utilized by the MAC layer in order to provide service to the RLC layer. Transport layer is present between the MAC and the physical layer. It is utilized by the physical layer in order to provide service to the MAC layer. And finally, the physical channels are nothing but the actual implementation of the transport channels over the radio interface. And we also saw that logical channels will tell you what you are supposed to transmit. Transport channels will tell where you have to transmit, and physical channel will tell how to transmit. So these are the main functions of these three particular channels. So now we'll be seeing each one of the channel one by one. So coming to the channels. So in general, let us see like what are these channels. So we all know that channels are nothing but it is nothing but a region, or we can say something which allows the information to flow. So the information between the different protocol layers are known as channel. That's what I say telling you here. So these are the different protocol layers, and the information between the different layers will flow through the channels. So these are the channels. Between the two layers, we have something called as a channel through which the information will flow. And these are used to segregate different types of data and allows them to be transported across different layers. So the main function is to not only to transmit the allow the information to flow, but it also segregates different types of data and allows them to be transmitted across the different layers. And these channels will provide an interface to each layer within the LTE protocol stack and enable an orderly and defined segregation of the data. So you can see that each of these channels are acting as the interface between the two layers. Channels are distinguished based on the kind of information they carry and by the way in which the information is being processed. So I was telling you about the logical channels, physical channels, and the transport channels. So logical channels will tell what type of information to be transmitted. Transport channels will tell how the information to be transmitted, and physical layer will tell no, sorry, the transport layer will tell where the information has to be transported, and then the physical channel will tell you how the information has to be transmitted. So based on the kind of information they carry and by the way in which the information is processed, we have different types of channels. So let us look into the three different types of channels. That is what I was telling you here. So the three different channels are that is used in LTE is logical channels, physical channels, and the transport channels. So the first channel, that is the logical channel, will define what type of information is transmitted. And the transport channel will define how this information is transmitted. The physical channel will define where this information has to be sent. So you have to just remember these three magical words: what, how, and where. So what type of information is to be transmitted, how it has to be transmitted, and where it has to be transmitted. So based on this, the channel is divided into three different types. So you can see here the same structure is being shown here. The LTE channel structure is shown here. So you can see you have the radio link control. So it's a mistake here. So it is not RRC, it is the radio link control. So just looking to the right side of the diagram here, the RLC channel layer, we have protocol layer, MAC layer, and the physical layer. So between the RLC layer and the MAC layer, we have the logical channel. Between the MAC and the physical, we have the transport channel, and the physical channels are represented in this only. So it mentions like how the transport layer is implemented. Physical channel represents how the transport channel is implemented. So you can see here the logical channel is being used by the MAC layer in order to provide service to the RLC. Similarly, transport layer is being utilized by the physical layer in order to provide service to the MAC layer. And physical channels are nothing but the actual implementation of the transport channels. So moving on to the next one, the logical channels are used. This is what I said you. The logical channels are being used by the MAC layer to provide service to the RLC layer. So that is what it is being mentioned in the first line. Each logical channel is defined based on the type of the information it carries. In LTE, there are two categories of logical channels depending on the service they provide. So, based on the service they provide, the logical channels are divided into two types. One is the logical control channel, and the second one is the logical traffic channel. So, logical control. So, as you see here, so you have to remember this name here, control. As and when you get this control, it means that we are speaking with respect to the control plane. When it comes to traffic, we'll be speaking of the user plane. So logical control channel carries the signaling information in the control plane, and the logical traffic channels will carry the data information in the user plane. So it's a mistake here. It is data information and not date information. So depending on the service, the logical channels provide, they are categorized into two types, logical control channels and the logical traffic channels. So logical control channels carry the signaling information in the control plane, and logical traffic channels will carry the information in the user plane. So going on to the next one. So I said that we have basically two types of logical channels, logical control channels and the logical traffic channel. Again, under this logical control channel, we have many types under that. So under this logical control channel, we have broadcast control channel, BCCH, then we have multicast control channel, paging control channel, common control channel, dedicated control channel. So let us see what is each one of them. So let's take the first one. So before we go to this, let us see like what is this logical control channel. So as I said you, it will the logical control channel will carry the signaling information in the control plane. So let's see like what is that. So these are the channels which are used to transfer the control plane information. Control channel, it can be a common channel or it can be a dedicated channel. So a common channel means which is common to all the users. So it means that when I say common channel, it means that the channel is common to all the users in a cell point, in a cell. But when I say dedicated channel, it means that the channels are used only by one user point to point. So one user point to point. So coming to this, logical control channels are used to transfer control plane information. So the logical channels are used to transfer control plane information. So the channel can be a common channel or a dedicated channel. So when I say common channel, it means that it is common to all the users in a cell, point to multi-point. But when I say dedicated channel, it means that it is being used by only one user point to point. So under the logical control channel, as I said you, there are many types in that. Coming to the first one, that is the broadcast control channel, BCCH. So these channels are used to broadcast system control information to the mobile terminals in the cell. So as the name says, these are used to broadcast system control information. When I say broadcast, it means that one to many. So these are used to broadcast system control information to the mobile terminals in the cell, which includes downlink system bandwidth, antenna configuration, and reference signal power. So due to the large amount of information that is being carried by the broadcast control channel, it is mapped to two different transport channels, that is the broadcast channel and the downlink shared channel. So when we see here, since it is used for broadcast system control and it has to do so many functions, it is being mapped to two different transport channels, the broadcast channel and the downlink shared channel. Moving on to the next logical control channel, that is the multicast control channel. So when I say multicast control channel, the multicast control channel is a point to multi-point downlink channel which is used for transmitting control information to the user equipments in the cell. It is only used by the user equipments that receive multicast or broadcast services. So I repeat, so MCCH is a point to multi-point downlink channel used for transmitting control information to the user equipments in the cell. And it is used only by the user equipments that receive multicast or broadcast services. Coming to the next logical control channel, the paging control channel. So the paging control channel is a downlink channel that transfers the paging information to the registered user equipment in the cell. So it is a downlink channel that will transfer the paging information. So as the name says, it will transfer the paging information to the registered user equipments in the cell. Moving on to the next one, we have something called as the common control channel. So common control channel, it is a bidirectional channel which is used for transmitting control information between the network and the user equipments when no RRC connection is available. So RRC means radio resource control connection is available, implying that the user equipment is not attached to the network such as in an idle state. So the most commonly the common control channel is used during the random access procedure. So the last line, if you want, you can remember, otherwise you can read. So I mean to say that, so whenever, for example, we say that the user equipment is not attached to the network, we say that the user equipment is in the idle state. Since the user equipment, when I say user equipment, I am speaking of the mobile. If it is not connected to the network, it is not attached to the network, then we say that the mobile is in idle state. So common control channel, it is a channel which is used for transmitting the control information between the network and the user equipment when the radio resource control connection is available. So whenever the connection is available, only then the transmitting of control information can happen. But when the user equipment is not attached to the network, when it is in the idle state, the information cannot be transmitted. Moving on to the next one, the last one, that is the dedicated control channel, DCCH. So it is a point-to-point bidirectional channel that will transmit dedicated control information between a user equipment and the network. So the previous one we saw, whenever there was a connection available, only then the control information was able to be transmitted. But here it is a dedicated control channel. So since it is a dedicated control channel, so one user, so for each user, there will be a connection, a channel which is being established so that user can make use of that particular channel. So it is a point to point. So one user to the network. It's a point to point bidirectional channel. So bidirectional channel means the user can send the information, at the same time the network can send the information to the user. Bidirectional channel that will transmit dedicated control information between a user equipment and the network. And this channel is used when the RRC connection is available, that is the user equipment is attached to the network. So the user has to be attached to the network, only then this channel will work. But whereas in the common control channel, even when the connection is not available, so the information will be available on the channel. So even whoever is connected to the network can utilize that particular information. So when I say dedicated, it is only for that particular user, and the condition is that the RSC connection should be available. So moving on to the next one. So I said you that the logical channels are divided into two types: logical control channels and the logical traffic channels. So I repeat, logical control channels will carry the signaling information in the control plane. Logical traffic channels will carry the data information in the user plane. So just now we studied about the logical control channels. So the different logical control channels are broadcast control channel, then we have multicast control channel, paging control channel, common control channel, and the dedicated control channel. Now let's look into the next part of the logical channels, that is the logical traffic channels. So logical traffic channels are used to transfer user plane information. So they are used to transfer user plane information, and in that we just have only two types. So there is a dedicated traffic channel and the multicast traffic channel. So dedicated traffic channel is a point-to-point bidirectional channel which is used between a user equipment and the network, and it can exist in both uplink and the downlink. Coming to the next one, multicast transport traffic channel. So MTCH, it is a unidirectional point to multi-point data channel that transmits the traffic data from the network to the user equipment. So it is associated with the multicast or the broadcast service. So you can see here, since the dedicated traffic channel, it is a point-to-point bidirectional channel. So it is a bidirectional channel that is connected between the user equipment and the network. But since it is bidirectional, it can exist in both uplink and downlink. But whereas the multicast traffic channel, it is unidirectional, only it is connected from the network to the user equipment, and it is associated with multicast or broadcast service. So it will transmit the traffic data from the network to the user equipment since it is unidirectional. So let's move on to the next one, that is the transport channels. So then, till now we studied like what are logical channels. So in this logical channel, so logical channels are the channels which are present between the MAC layer and the RLC layer. These channels are being utilized by the MAC layers in order to provide service to the radio link control layer. So we also saw like the main function of the logical channel is to see like what information has to be transmitted. So among in that we saw there were two types: logical control channel and the logical traffic channel, and we saw different types in that. Let's move on to the next channel, that is the transport channel. So the transport channel is a channel which is present between the physical layer and the MAC layer. So these transport channels are being utilized by the physical layer in order to provide service to the MAC layer. So these transport channels will decide how the data has to be transmitted. So logical channels will tell what type of data to be transmitted, and transport channels will tell, since the name tells transport, how to transmit the data, how to transport the data. That will be decided by the transport layer. Okay, now quickly, all of you mark your attendance, write your USN and name in the chat box. I'll just give you 1 minute now. Okay, now let's move on to the next channel, that is the transport channel. So transport channels are the channels that are present between the physical layer and the MAC layer. And these are the channels that are being utilized by the physical layer in order to provide service to the MAC layer. And it will decide how to transmit the data. So how the data has to be transmitted. So I've just mentioned that in the first line, transport channels are used by the physical layer to offer services to the MAC layer. So these channels are basically characterized by how and with what characteristics the data is transferred over the radio interface. So when I say characteristics, it means we are speaking of the channel coding scheme, modulation scheme, and the data antenna mapping. Like when we are transmitting the data, so in which form it has to be transmitted, what channel coding scheme we have to use, what modulation technique we have to use, and what type of antenna we have to use, how to map the antenna. All these being characteristics are being considered in this particular channel. So these channels are basically characterized by how and with what characteristics the data is being transferred over the radio interface. So now the transport channels again, they are classified into two types. First one is the downlink transport channel, and the second one is the uplink transport channel. So let's see like what is the downlink transport channel. So when I say downlink transport channel, so under that we have the first one, that is the downlink shared channel. Then we have broadcast channel, and then we have multicast channel, and then we have paging channel. So if you go to the next one, under the uplink shared channel, we have uplink shared channel and the random access channel. So this is what we have under the two types. So you have four transport channels under that, and under the uplink transport channels, you have two transport channels under that. So let's look into the downlink transport channels first. So under the downlink shared channel, the transport channel, the first one is the downlink shared channel. So in short, we can write it as DLSCH. So these channels are used for transmitting the downlink data, including both control and traffic data, and thus it is associated with both logical control and logical traffic channel. So the downlink shared channel is used for transmitting the downlink data. So as the name itself says, it is used for transmitting the downlink data, including both control and traffic data. So when I say it as transmitting the downlink data, it has to include both control and traffic data. So we say it is associated with both the logical channels, that is the logical control channel and the logical traffic channel. The second point under this is it supports hybrid ARQ, dynamic link adaptation, dynamic and semi-persistent resource allocation, user equipment discontinuous reception, and multicast or broadcast transmission. So some of the functions of this particular layer is mentioned here. That is, it supports HARQ, dynamic link adaptation, dynamic and semi-persistent resource allocation, user equipment discontinuous reception, and multicast or broadcast transmission. The last point about the downlink shared channel is by sharing the radio resource among the different user equipments, the downlink shared channel is able to maximize the throughput by allocating the resources to the optimum user equipments. So when I say user equipment, immediately the mobile should come to your mind. So when I say user equipments, many users will be having their own equipments or their own mobiles, and since the radio resource is being shared among all these mobile users, what will happen is the throughput will increase. How the throughput will increase? Only the one that is required will be utilizing that particular radio resource. So that is the meaning of this. By sharing the radio resource, as the name itself is, downlink shared channel. As by sharing the radio resource, when I say shared, it means that we are sharing the radio resource among different user equipments, and the downlink shared channel is able to maximize the throughput by allocating the resources to the optimum user equipments. Moving on to the next one, that is the broadcast channel. So broadcast channel stands for BCH. So a downlink, so this also comes under the downlink transport channel. So a downlink channel, it is a downlink channel that is associated with the broadcast control channel, which is a logical channel and is used to broadcast system information over the network. the entire coverage area of the cell. So it is used for broadcast. It is used to broadcast the information over the entire coverage area of the cell. So you can see here you have broadcast control channel. It will be associated with the logical channel, that is broadcast control channel. So BCH will be associated with BCCH in order to broadcast the information over the entire coverage area of the cell. Next it says that it has a fixed transport format that is defined by the specification. So broadcast channel will have a fixed transport format that is defined by the specifications. Moving on to the next downlink transport channel, that is the multicast channel. So multicast channels are associated. So when I say multicast channel, immediately you should know it is associated with something related to multicast. So the logical channels what we studied were multicast control channel and multicast transport channel. So both of them were the logical channels. So these this channel, that is the multicast channel, is associated with the multicast control channel and the multicast transport channel for multicast or broadcast services. So you can just remember like this. So it supports multicast or broadcast single frequency network transmission, which transmits the same information on the same radio resource for multiple synchronized base stations to multiple user equipments. So same information, same radio resource is being shared from multiple base stations to multiple user equipments. So this is about the multicast channel. And moving on to the next channel, that is the paging channel. So paging channel, as I said you, so paging channel will be associated with the logical channel, paging control channel. So paging control channel, PCCH stands for paging control channel. It is mapped to dynamically allocate the physical resources and is required for broadcast over the entire cell coverage area. And the last point, it is transmitted on the physical downlink shared channel and supports user equipment discontinuous reception. So these are the functions of the paging channel. So under this transport channel, downlink transport channels, we have four types: downlink shared channel, broadcast channel, multicast channel, paging channel. So moving on to the next type, that is the under the transport channels we have uplink transport channel and the downlink transport channels. So downlink transport channels we just now discussed. Let's look into the uplink transport channels. So coming to the uplink transport channels, you can see here the uplink transport channel. It can be associated to the common control channel, dedicated control channel, and the dedicated transport channel. And these are all the logical channels. So the first two are the logical control channels, and the last one is the logical transport channel. So we can say that the uplink shared channel ULSCH can be associated to the logical control channels, common control channel, and the dedicated control channel, and also it can be associated with the transport logical channel, that is the dedicated transport channel. So what is the function of this? It supports the HARQ, dynamic link adaptation, and dynamic and semi-persistent resource allocation. So moving on to the next one, we can see that there is one more channel called as the random access channel. So you can see that this channel is not associated with any of the logical channel, because we have not studied about anything related to the random access in the previous logical channels. So we say that the random access channel is a specific transport channel that is not mapped to any logical channel. It is not being mapped to any logical channel. So what it does, it transmits relatively small amounts of data for initial access, or in the case of radio resource control, state changes. So it transmits small amounts of data for initial access, or in case of RRC, state changes. It will take care of the state changes. Next, the data on each transport channel is organ. This is about the two channels. Now let us see like what is the function of the transport layer in general. So the data on each transport channel is organized into transport blocks. So the data on each transport layer is organized, it will be in the form of transport blocks, and the transmission type of each transport block is called as transmission time interval, or is called as TTI. So in LTE, the transmission time interval is 1 millisecond. So what is that 1 millisecond represent? 1 millisecond in LTE means that it is the transmission time of each transport block. So for in LTE it is 1 millisecond. So TTI is also the minimum interval for link adaptation and scheduling decision. Without, we also see that without spatial multiplexing, at most one transport block is transmitted to a user equipment in each TTI. So in each in 1 millisecond, without spatial multiplexing, at most one transport block is transmitted to a user equipment in 1 millisecond. With spatial multiplexing, we can see that up to two transport blocks can be transmitted in each um, transmission time interval to a user equipment. Okay, students, for today, I will stop here. But in tomorrow's class, based on the last week and this week, I will be conducting a quiz on the module 3, which is related to the last week and today's class. And I will be also sharing the PPT to you all. And there is one more information to be informed to you.